Have you ever promised yourself that this time will be different? That tomorrow you'll wake up disciplined, focused, finally in control? And for a day or two you actually are. Then, somehow, it fades, quietly. You start wondering what's wrong with you, why you can't stay consistent when others seem to. You know what to do. You've heard the advice. You've tried the plans. So why does it still feel like you're starting over again and again? If that sounds familiar, if you've been calling yourself lazy in your head, then this story is for you. Because the problem was never what you thought it was. And once you see it, the way you try will never be the same again. Stay with me until the end. Long before anyone used words like discipline or motivation, people learned the truth a harder way, through work, through failure, and through what time quietly remembers. This is one of those stories. In an old coastal town along the northern sea, people rose before the light and worked until the sky turned steel blue. Boats knocked softly against the docks. Nets were dragged in slow rhythm. Wooden crates scraped over stone, and ropes flew from hand to hand like quiet lifelines. Alex worked there too. He was young, broad-shouldered, and full of plans he talked about more than he lived. He wanted to be known as the strongest carrier on the docks, the man traders trusted when the heaviest cargo arrived. But the harbor foreman never called his name first. Some mornings Alex arrived late, breathless, acting as if the day had already betrayed him. Other mornings he came early and worked with wild energy, lifting more than anyone asked, dropping loads hard as if daring the ground to challenge him. When the foreman saw Alex sitting on a coil of rope, sweat drying on his neck, he said what people always said: lazy. The word traveled easily. Fishermen muttered it when Alex missed the dawn haul. Traders used it when they passed him by for serious work. Even his friends laughed and called him Alex Tomorrow, because tomorrow was always the day he would finally begin. Alex heard it all. He smiled as if it meant nothing, but the word stayed with him, small and sharp, like grit trapped in a boot. Alex tried to break that word the way he broke through tasks, with force. One week he announced he would push himself harder than ever. He ran the length of the pier before sunrise, lifted stones onto his shoulders, dragged carts until his palms burned, and carried crates until his arms trembled. People noticed. They slapped his back and said, "That's how it's done. Now you're working like a man." Alex felt taller. He worked harder the next day, harder the day after that. Pride filled him like a strong wind filling a sail. Then the wind shifted. On the fourth morning, he woke unable to close his hands properly. His shoulders felt packed with damp clay. He told himself pain meant progress. He told himself he would silence every doubt by pushing twice as hard. By midday, his legs shook. By evening, he lay staring at the ceiling of his room, angry at his own body. The next morning, he did not go to the docks. The morning after that, he said, "Tomorrow." Tomorrow became a week. When he returned loudly, boasting, laughing too much, lifting one crate as if it were a mountain and wiping his face so everyone could see the effort. The harbor foreman watched without comment, the way a man watches waves repeat themselves. "Lazy," he said again, not with anger, but with tired certainty. The word struck Alex harder than any load. The sea did not care about promises. It rose and fell as it always had. Some days Alex felt unstoppable. On those days he carried 2 sacks at once, climbed carts, shouted instructions, and moved as if the docks belonged to him. Other days the fire vanished. The gulls sounded like mockery. The smell of salt and fish made his stomach turn. Even lifting a rope felt like a demand too great. On those days, Alex waited to feel ready again. He told himself he would work when the feeling returned. He would begin properly once the moment was right. But the docks did not wait. Boats still arrived at dawn. Cargo still needed moving before the tide shifted. Storm season still crept closer whether anyone felt prepared or not. When Alex missed a day, no one announced it. No one came knocking. Another man stepped into his place, and the work continued. That quiet replacement hurt more than open blame. Behind the docks stood a low wooden shed where an old rope maker named Marta worked alone. Her hair was silvered by years of sea air. Her hands were thin, steady, and scarred by patience. Alex had passed the shed countless times without looking. One afternoon, after struggling through half a shift, he wandered inside, drawn by the soft rasp of fibers twisting together. A thick rope hung along the wall, stretched between iron hooks. Small knots marked its length, spaced evenly, each one identical. "How long does that take?" Alex asked. Marta did not look up. "A little each day." Alex studied the rope. "Why not finish it quickly?" Marta tightened a strand, calm and precise. "A rope remembers how it was made." The words followed Alex long after he left the shed. When storm season arrived, tension spread across the harbor. Lines were checked, ferries prepared, traders grew impatient. A trader named Bernard arrived boasting of a rope he had bought cheaply, claiming it was strong enough for anything. The rope looked impressive. It snapped loudly when thrown, drawing approving nods. Alex felt uneasy watching it. That night the wind came hard. Waves struck the dock. The ferry line strained. Then came the sound no one wanted to hear, a sharp crack. Bernard's rope failed. Men stumbled. A boat lurched sideways. Crates slid. Only quick hands and luck kept disaster away. Marta's rope was brought out. It was plain, quiet, unremarkable. When the wind pulled, it tightened and held. Alex watched the knots disappear under tension and return unchanged. The rope did not rise to the moment. It did not become heroic. It simply did what it had been prepared to do. The next morning, before the docks woke, Alex stood in Marta's shed. He did not ask how to become strong. He asked how to begin. Marta handed him a length of fiber and showed him one simple twist. No speech, no encouragement, just emotion. Each morning after that, Alex tied one small knot before work and hung the rope where he could see it. At first, nothing changed. His body did not transform. The foreman did not smile. The traders did not notice. Bernard still demanded more. The fishermen still complained. His friends still teased him for refusing late nights and easy distractions. Alex said nothing. He tied the knot. Weeks passed. His grip steadied. His breathing calmed under weight. His back no longer collapsed after a single hard day. A season passed. The foreman began giving him tasks without watching closely. Then one morning, a heavy crate arrived. The dockhands glanced at Alex, waiting for the usual show. Alex lifted the crate and walked, slowly, quietly, without drama. Later, in the shed, he ran his fingers over the rope. It held many knots now, not tied in bursts, not tied in anger, tied by returning. Marta looked at the rope and nodded once, and in that harbor town, a quiet truth settled like calm after wind. Strength is not what a man does when he feels powerful. Strength is what his days have been recording all along. And if there is a lesson in such stories, it is a gentle one. What you repeat, even when no one is watching, is what you become.